What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I do my 10,000 steps out here pretty early. It's a little cool, but it's a otherwise beautiful day for some stepping. So I want to talk about non-feminine women. We got non-feminine women, masculine women, and why they think that men are intimidated by them, which that's always a cope. Men are not intimidated by women. Never have been, never will be. You generally are not intimidated by someone that is weaker than you. If the most that you can do to a person is run your mouth, there's nothing scary about that. So we got to debunk the whole thing of women thinking that men are intimidated by them. Like, lovely as a woman as you may be and strong in your own mind as you may be, no grown man is ever going to be intimidated by a person that is just their physical, junior. Let's put it that way. That's like saying that a man is intimidated by a child. Now, a woman is stronger than a child, but still, nonetheless, your average man is always going to be stronger than your average woman. So you can't harm him in any way. So there's just no reason to be intimidated here. But what I have noticed is that, we get the whole thing with women doing masculine things. And that in itself, it's a bit of a turnoff. So more often than not, when I see women saying that men are intimidated by them, these are women that they're not very feminine. They usually employ a lot of masculine energy. And it's not that men are intimidated in any way. It's just that they're not attracted to masculine behaving women. Usually a straight guy, he's just not going to be, he's not going to be very attracted to masculine traits in a woman. If you're a man, why do you want a masculine woman? I've seen women say they're dominant and strong, and men say to that, why do I want a dominant woman? I don't want a dominant woman. I am the dominant one. So why do I want a dominant woman? And it's not about you want a woman that's weaker. You just simply want a woman that's feminine. So that's usually what it comes down to. If you're a woman and you typically partake in things that are usually deemed to be more masculine, it's not that guys are intimidated by you. It's just the fact that the things that you're doing, they're like that of what a man would do. And so the attraction is not there. I seen this one sister, she was in the gym lifting 2 90-pound dumbbells, and she could be a fantastic human being. All right, she in her everyday life, she can be an awesome woman, but she was complaining about the fact that she's having trouble finding dating because men are intimidated by her. It's not that they're intimidated. You lifting 90-pound dumbbells on a bench press, that's very impressive, because there are men who can't do that. So that's impressive, but that's still not intimidating. It's just very masculine. So she, just to give a description, she kind of looked like a dude. She had like very hard features in her face. Like she had like an angular jawline and, this muscle, and she was kind of shaped boxy. So she was shaped like a man. So, on top of partaking in something, this bodybuilding, on top of partaking in something that is, just deemed as very, very masculine, you also look like a guy on top of that. So it's men, they're not in any way, shape, or form intimidated by this. It's just not attractive to men. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Attraction, when you don't know a person, Physical attraction is the baseline. That's what you have to go by. And you can say, oh, well, you should get to know a person before judging. That's just not really how we work. When you see somebody out and about, you like how they look, you like how they look. You don't know anything about them whatsoever. You just like how they look. So physical attraction and first impressions they're very important. More often than not, a guy in passing who sees her, he's gonna see how masculine she looks, and he's just not gonna be interested in talking to her because he's not physically attracted to her. On top of that, and this isn't to be insulting in any way, when I looked at her, I was honestly surprised that she was even checking for dudes. Because at a glance, and they say, oh, you shouldn't assume, but people are going to assume because that's just how we operate. People are going to assume. At a glance, somebody would look at her and they would assume that she is playing for the other team. And you can't blame them in thinking so because she very much looks the part in someone that's playing for the other team. So you can be like, oh, you should get to know people and you shouldn't judge. But we all do anyway. We all do. And what really can you do about it? So it comes down to attraction. It's not about intimidation. You can't partake in masculine things and then be confused that men don't find you desirable for it. So weightlifting is one. Certain other things like contact sports, you got women who do that. I don't personally believe that men typically find women who participate in contact sports to be very, very feminine. Very feminine. This caught my attention. That's why I got my tongue tied. We got this car here behind me. How about that? I don't know which one it is, which OG vehicle that is. I don't think it's the Model T, but it's one of them OGs. But anyways, I was saying contact sports, they're generally considered to be very masculine, a very masculine sport. You got the one woman, Clarissa Shields. She's really good at what she does, but she exudes all this masculine energy. She talks like a dude, masculine energy on 1,000. She be calling out male fighters all the time. Most guys just aren't really gonna find that sort of loud, domineering woman to be attractive. Again, she's probably an awesome person in real life. Honestly, she seemed like it, but she seemed like somebody that a dude would hang out with. This is my bro. This is the home girl. This is the homie, not like a romantic interest. Which is funny because I think the weightlifting chick was kind of complaining about that, about the guys that she meets. They kind of treat her like one of the guys. Well, that's ultimately what's going to happen. If you're a woman and you're behaving like one of the guys, you're going to kind of get treated like one of the guys because you're going above and beyond to be one of the guys. Doing these deadlifts and shoulder squats. These are not feminine things. Do those do those lunges. Do those what's the ones I can't remember where you put the bar on your hip thrust. You put the bar on your hip and you kind of thrust up. Do those things. Girls typically do those things. I'm not telling you how to work out. I'm just saying, like, there's certain things that men do to get in shape and certain things that women do to get in shape. And when you start doing the things that the men do to get in shape, you're doing yourself a disservice. And in the case of the bodybuilder, talking about her being masculine, the amount of muscle that she has, women typically are not able to build that naturally. So they have to be taking some sort of substance in order to compensate for their lack of testosterone to be able to build muscle like that. Because oftentimes women are worried about, oh, I don't want to build too much muscle. Oh, I don't want to lose my breast. Well, biologically, you're not capable of doing that. It doesn't matter how much working out you do. You're just not going to do that because you don't have the testosterone necessary in order to build the muscle. So if you look like that one bodybuilder chick, you know that she's taking something to help her along, because naturally she wouldn't be able to do it. So I think I pretty much hit it on the head on what I needed to convey to y'all, man. Men like feminine women, period. That's always been how it's been. Men like feminine women. And I noticed that many of the times the really masculine ones that really go into, you know, doing masculine things a lot, there's some kind of like submissive guys that would be willing to deal with a woman like that, because they usually want to be the boss in a relationship. That's just, you know, that's just usually how it rolls out. But the more submissive guy isn't the one that they want. They want a guy that's more dominant. And usually really strong masculine men, they're just not going to be attracted to a woman that, you know, does not look the part of being a girlfriend, looks the part of being the, you know, the boyfriend in a lesbian relationship. I'll just put it like that. I mean, some of these things, they sound bad, but honestly, I think they only sound bad because of the culture that we live in today. You know, people are so overly sensitive about how you word things. These things otherwise wouldn't be a bad thing to say or controversial, but people are so extra sensitive right now. So you got to kind of have a level of grace when talking about certain things, because we live in a society where people, it's like they enjoy being offended by everything. So, but I'm gonna leave this there, y'all. I appreciate y'all connecting with me. I'm gonna continue my stepping. Thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.